Hey guys, welcome back to another Ashes of Creation video. Today we're going to be going over how to enchant items in the Alpha 2 for Ashes of Creation. Before we start, if you end up liking this video or you found it helpful, please give it a like down below. And if you want to see more Ashes of Creation content in the future, feel free to subscribe. Alright, let's crack straight into it. What is enchanting in Ashes of Creation? Enchanting in Ashes of Creation, just like any other MMO, is the act of using magical resources or items to increase the power of gear for your character. Enchanting itself is not an artisan's skill in Ashes of Creation, but the skill to make enchanting scrolls is. Anyone who has an enchanting scroll can enchant their gear depending on the scroll and gear in question. You won't even need a crafting station. In the current build, we have only been able to get our hands on two different types of enchanting scrolls, the Novice and Apprentice scrolls. It is pretty simple and straightforward in what they do. Both scrolls give +1 to each stat that the item already buffs. For example, if you have an item that's called Tin Breastplate and it already gives you +5 Constitution and +2 Strength, enchanting it the first time will turn the item into a Tin Breastplate +1, and that item will now give +6 Constitution and +3 Strength. The only difference between the scrolls at the moment is that for gears between levels 1 and 9, you can use the Novice scroll, and for gear between levels 10 and 19, you can use an Apprentice scroll. There most likely is already Journeyman scrolls for gear levels 20+, but you cannot craft it or purchase it until we get the upgrade for the laboratory node building to at least the Journeyman level. There are other types of enchanting scrolls planned with recipes that should drop from mobs. These might already be in the game as they have showed up in the patch notes most recently, but no one in my guild has gotten any, or have I seen any. You can enchant an item more than once, allowing the effect of the scroll to stack. When enchanting an item, the odds of it being successful will change depending on how many times you have already enchanted the item itself, and if you are using an enchanting charm or not. Enchanting charms are an enchanting item used solely for the purpose of increasing the odds of an enchant being successful. Once the item has been enchanted 4 or so times, it now has a chance the next time you try to level it to actually decrease the level of the enchant instead of increasing it. By the time it is a level 7 enchanted item, there's now a chance on failure the item will actually lose all levels of enchantment and go back down to 0. The actual base item itself. This can be quite painful, as each time you enchant, you are not only consuming a scroll and possibly a charm, but there is a flat fee to enchant items, and it can get pretty expensive towards the higher levels, especially for the apprentice enchants. Multiple gold's worth, making it really a risk or reward. Where can you find enchanting supplies? Enchanting scrolls and charms can both be crafted or purchased straight from the vendor. While it is easier and more economical to just purchase the supplies itself, it is most likely not going to be possible in the future, and it is probably the way it is at the moment to purely get tested. You can buy both Novice scrolls and charms from the vendor at the laboratory at Briarmoor Farms, and you can buy the apprentice versions at any node that has a laboratory artisan building at that building's vendors. In the current iteration, the enchanting charms really don't seem to be worth it, as they only will give a very marginal chance to increase the success of the enchant. Now, enchanting outside of buying gear and food buffs does seem to be the only direct way to increase power with gold, as the scrolls can be purchased directly from the vendors at the moment. Along with the prices of the scrolls themselves and the direct cost for each enchant, you might want to build up a small bankroll to fund these efforts. And boy, if you're looking to make some gold, do I got a video for you. Next time on the Diet Trevor's channel, all things caravans. Catch you guys on the next one.